clients facing genuine issues. Brought to you by the hypnotherapist demanded by celebrities, CEOs, and even royalty, Adam Cox. These recordings took place live from Adam's clinic in London's world-famous Harley Street. So, get yourself comfortable and enjoy today's episode of The Hypnotist.
My name's Adam and welcome to today's episode of The Hypnotist. In the session today that you're going to be listening, where I worked with a real-life client, it's all based entirely on self-esteem. Now, the gentleman that I was working with was very, very successful, but still had lower amounts of self-esteem and a sense of a positive evaluation of himself within certain contexts. So in this session that you're about to listen, you're going to be hearing how I worked with him to unlock higher levels of self-esteem, higher levels of confidence, and using a combination of regression and future pacing so that he could experience what the 10-year-old version of him perceives him to be and all the success that he's achieved, but equally the older version of him later on in life looking back and judging this person based on that perception of living a whole life. Because a lot of people have this belief system of not being enough and not being good enough, and in order for them to have self-esteem or confidence, they need to be richer, more successful, slimmer, whatever it might be. So in this particular session, you're going to be hearing how I worked with him to unlock high levels of self-esteem, high levels of confidence, and it's going to be useful for you if any of those things are desirable. So the best way to listen to this episode is going to be on headphones in a quiet area where you're not going to be disturbed, and just relax and enjoy.
And I want you to imagine that you're breathing in a sense of relaxation. Imagine that as you breathe in through your nose, you're breathing in relaxation, and as you exhale, you're breathing out tension. As you breathe in that relaxation, just imagine that the relaxation, in the same way that oxygen is traveling to every single one of your cells, imagine that as you breathe in, filling your lungs with that relaxation, Your heart is pumping that relaxation to every cell of your body. And sometimes when you're exercising or stretching, certain parts of your body need more oxygen than other parts. And right now, there are certain parts of your body that need more relaxation than other parts. As you breathe in, just imagine that your body knows how to channel, distribute that relaxation so the tendons, muscles, cells of your body that need it most are automatically drawn to that relaxation. Sometimes it's useful as you imagine that you're breathing in relaxation to decide consciously of a particular color that would represent relaxation. Some people imagine a warm color like orange. As they imagine breathing in that color that represents relaxation, the power of the imagination can imagine that color traveling around the body, seeking out the very muscles, the very parts of the body that need that relaxation most. And as you breathe out, in the same way that you breathe in oxygen and breathe out carbon dioxide, I want you to imagine that you're breathing in relaxation, but your body is displacing any tension, stress, or anxiety. So as you breathe out, you're releasing that tension, stress, or anxiety, and it's leaving your body. That's right. Breathing in relaxation, and breathing out any tension. And I want you to imagine that you're lying on a beach in Rio. I want you to imagine that you're on that beach, perhaps on a sun lounger, perhaps on a towel, perhaps just on the sand. But this time, while you're lying on that beach, it's completely private. You are the only one on that beach. I want you to imagine that you can feel the warmth of the sun on your skin. I want you to imagine that perhaps there's a gentle breeze. Maybe there's even that unique, distinctive smell of the freshness of the sea air. Perhaps you can feel the texture of that towel, sun lounger, or sand that you're lying on. As you're lying on that beach, I want you to imagine that not only are you breathing in a sense of relaxation, but in the same way that the sunlight can give you vitamin D, I want you to imagine that the sunlight that you're feeling on your skin is also giving your body deeper and deeper levels of relaxation. I want you to imagine that as you feel the sunlight on your face, you feel those sun's rays. I want you to imagine that it's almost melting away any tension, stress, or anxiety, particularly in the muscles around your eyes. Really focus on the muscles of your eyelids, eyebrows, the muscles around your eyes. Breathing in that relaxation, feeling the warmth of the sun on your skin, imagining that any unnecessary tension is just melting away. Now, that's right. Now focusing on the muscles of your forehead. Those exact muscles that are responsible for facial expressions like concern or surprise. Those muscles sometimes are tense when they don't need to be tense. So as you breathe in that relaxation and feel the relaxation through the sun's rays, imagine again that any tension is just fading away. And And now I want you to focus on the muscles around your jaw. Some people have so much stress, they will clench their teeth or grind their teeth even when they sleep. But in order for that to happen, muscles need to be tense, particularly the muscle that goes from the lower ear all the way down the jawline. And as you breathe in that relaxation, just imagine that that specific muscle is loosening, relaxing. It's almost like if your jaw was machinery, it's being oiled for the very first time. That's right. Even the muscles that you don't normally think about. The tiny muscles around your nose, your nostrils. Your ears have the ability to twitch. Even the tongue inside your mouth, all these muscles can simply relax. That's right. Now focus on the muscles of your neck and your shoulders. And I want you to remember a time where you saw an ice cube melt. And as that image comes to mind, I want you to imagine that any tension, stress, anxiety around your neck and your shoulders is now being imagined to be like crystals of ice. But there you are, on that beach at 4 p.m., feeling the warmth of the sun on your skin, and imagine that any tension, anxiety and stress manifested as crystals of ice around your neck and your shoulders is gradually, slowly, but certainly melting away, taking you deeper and deeper relaxed. That relaxation spreading now down into your arms, all the way down your arms to the very tips of your fingers. And I want you to imagine that as you're lying there on that beach, if someone was to lift up your arm, it would be limp and loose, almost like that of a doll. And if someone let go of your arm, it would slump back, straight back down to where it was before, releasing any tension and all tension completely now. As you breathe in, just imagine that warm color of relaxation filling your lungs and relaxing muscles and organs inside your body. Just allow your heart to relax now. Allow your stomach to relax now. Allow your lungs to relax, and even your diaphragm, that muscle responsible for hiccups. Allow that to relax now. And now pay attention to your gut. They call the gut the second brain. I want you to imagine that as you think of your gut, imagine it as an old garden hose. A really old, knotted garden hose. But as you breathe in that feeling of relaxation and feel the warmth of the sun on your skin on that beach in Rio, I want you to imagine that you're reimagining your gut as a brand new garden hose. That it's untwisting, unknotted, shiny and new. Because sometimes when we feel anger can come from an unsettled feeling. An unsettled feeling that sometimes starts in the gut and feels like it's putting pressure around our temples. But now as you imagine that gut to be a shiny new garden hose, it means that any feelings of anxiety, any unsettled feelings of stress simply disappear. Allow that feeling of clarity, not in the head but in the gut. That intuition can be easier to tap into and identify. Just allow your whole body to take an extra deep breath and simply let go and relax. Feeling that relaxation spreading now down into your legs, all the way down into your legs. Legs are feeling heavy and loose as you lie on that beach, all the way down to the very tips of your toes. That's right. And while you're lying on that beach, with the gentle breeze, the warm feeling of the sun on your face, I want you to imagine that you're so tired, so relaxed on that beach, that you're about to fall asleep on that beach. I'm going to count down from 5 to 1, and you're going to fall asleep on that beach so much that you're going to fall and drift into a dream. And strangely, that dream will be that you're standing on the beach next to the body that has just fallen asleep, starting to count. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, falling asleep. Now, that's right. And as you stand there, now within a dream, looking at your body, looking so relaxed on that beach, it occurs to you that there is still no one else on the beach. But now that you're standing up, you can admire the beauty of that beach. Perhaps the particular color, because all beaches that are sandy beaches have different shades and colors of sand, and just pay attention to that color of sand beneath your feet now. I want you to walk to a perfect place on the beach where you can see the sky and the sea. Perhaps you can see the sun reflecting off the surface of the waves, still feeling that gentle breeze on your skin, perhaps feeling the softness of the sand beneath your feet, hearing the gentle breaking of the waves. But as you look out, I want you to see blue skies with just 1 or 2 fluffy white clouds. And as you look up at the sky, seeing those fluffy white clouds, something unusual will happen. The clouds will start spelling out a word. That word will be RELAX. 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 Relax, spelt out in fluffy white cloud just there in the sky. Now there is a logical, analytical part of your brain that is really intrigued and confused how it's possible for genuine fluffy clouds in the sky to spell out a word. But then something unusual happens. That word relax, spelt out, starts to change, morph, shift into a number. And that number is 998. Again, the logical, analytical part of your mind is confused, bewildered, fascinated. Why there can be a number spelt out in clouds in the sky. But it gets even stranger when that cloud starts counting down by 1 each time. 998 becomes 997. Stays there for a few moments, and then descends by 1 to 996. And all by itself, these clouds will count down, almost like there is a giant countdown timer in the sky, made of fluffy white clouds. And the logical, analytical part, the critical part of your mind, will be mesmerized, obsessed with these numbers counting down, so much so that the logical, analytical, critical part of your mind won't pay attention to anything else. It will simply count down the clouds in the sky. But there is a different part, a part of you that wants a future different from the present, a part that wants the feeling of higher self-esteem, a part that wants to make great decisions, a part that wants to feel happier, more content, more relaxed. And that part will continue walking down the beach. In fact, as you look back, you can see 2 different versions of you. you can see the conscious mind completely fast asleep, lying on a beach, and you can see the analytical, logical part staring at clouds, counting down numbers. But I'm now communicating to the part that wants change, the part that wants to be the very best version of you, the part that wants the future, tomorrow, to be a tiny percentage improvement upon today. Because through the power of compounding, a fraction of a percentage improvement over time can create radical change. And as you walk down the beach, feeling an overall sense of peace, tranquility, I want you to see up ahead there is a door. But this door is not attached to a building. It's simply a door that hovers on the beach. And in one of your hands you're holding a key, a large key. Feel the weight of that key in your hands. Look at the color of that key, the design of that key. And intuitively you know that this key opens that door. The door that is a portal to your deep subconscious mind. As you walk closer to the door, I want you to study and observe the type of door, the material, the size, the frame, the lock, the handle. And I want you to put the key in the lock, and I will count down from 5 to 1, and you will imagine unlocking the door, opening the door, but at the very point where you hear the lock clicking to signify that the door is unlocked, your unconscious mind will interpret that as unlocking latent resources buried deep down in your subconscious mind. The 10-year-old version of you would look at you as a hero. And the person that you become at the end of your life will look back on your life now with a sense of pride and accomplishment. Therefore, it stands to reason that you have all the resources necessary to be the very best version of yourself. And at the point where you hear the door unlocking, you will unlock the belief deep in your subconscious mind that you are fully able to be and unlock the very best version of yourself. And in fact, depending on the perspective, you are already a very, very good version of yourself. Because that 10-year-old who sees you as a hero, and the old man on his deathbed looking back, thinking of your life now with a glowing sense of pride, would consider you to be living the very best version of your life already. I want you to put the key in the lock, and we're going to count to 5, and you will open the door, walk through the door, and enter an empty room with nothing in it that will signify your deep subconscious mind. Starting to count. 5, putting the key in the lock. 4, rotating the key in the lock. 3, hearing the click to signify that the door is now unlocked, simultaneously unlocking all the resources deep in your subconscious mind, so that you will from this point onwards evaluate yourself in a much more positive light. You will focus on your qualities. You will focus on your accomplishments. You will focus on your characteristics, your values, all the things that make you feel grateful and proud will be the primary way in which you look at yourself from this point onwards. 2, opening the door, 1, walking through the door, and 0, now walking through the door into that empty room. And there is only one thing in this empty room, and that is a full-length mirror. But as you look in that full-length mirror, you do not see yourself as you currently are. You will see what your unconscious mind considers to be the very best possible version of yourself. Your unconscious mind knows that you have a big heart. So you will see in that mirror a version of you with an even bigger heart, more generous, more compassionate, kinder, more understanding. The version that you now see in that mirror is the very best version of you, even more big-hearted. And if that's the person that you can see in that mirror, just let me know by nodding your head. And as you look at yourself in that mirror, I want you to see that you have more ability to manage anger. See that the person in that mirror is more tolerant, more understanding. Sometimes the smallest dogs bark the loudest, and the big dogs are able to only attack if they choose to attack. You will see in that mirror a version of you that is not easily ruffled. Someone that is not weak, someone that is strong, but someone that is in control of how you react to either being taken advantage of or your values have been violated. The version of you that you see in the mirror is not only big-hearted, but is able to choose in a more calm way how to respond to anything that in previous times will have created an insecure reaction. That person before that was easily provoked, that retaliated quickly, was not the real you. That was the child version of you. That was the child version of you that when unfair things happened, you exploded. You exploded back then as a child because there was a sense of injustice. But now as you look at yourself in that mirror, seeing the very best version of you, you see that you are able to evaluate motives much more than you ever have before. That you are the ability to decide how to respond. The very best version of you takes 100% responsibility for your life, including how you will respond to anything that is unjust, unfair, or aggressive. True strength is making great decisions, not just in family life, business life, work life, finance life, but also within all aspects of human interaction. If your unconscious mind likes the idea that the very best version of you is someone that chooses how to respond, rather than allowing that primal part of your brain to simply react, just let me know by an unconscious movement. That's right. But there's something else you see in that mirror. That version of you, which is the very best version of you, has one other crucial ingredient. Not only are you big-hearted and able to choose how you respond to provocation, but also that version of you is someone that counts their blessings. That version of you is able to focus first and foremost on everything there is to be appreciative and grateful for. That version of you, the very best version of you, doesn't focus too much on the areas of weakness and the problems, but instead thinks about all those things that are going right, all those things that you're happy for. That could be your health, that could be your knowledge, that could be all the things that you value more than money. Meaningful relationships, friendships, memories. That could be the qualities that you admire in yourself. Be grateful for your drive, your determination. That's right. As you see yourself in that mirror, notice that the person that you see looks like you, yet you know that they are more big-hearted, better able to respond to provocation, and extremely grateful and full of appreciation. And all I want you to do is step into that mirror and feel how good it is to be the very best version of you. Feel a wave of energy vibrating throughout your entire body. Have a feeling of just how big-hearted you are. Literally feel that your heart is growing in size to represent this feeling of being big-hearted. Notice that inside this body, it would be virtually impossible to ruffle your feathers, to rile you, to create or provoke an aggressive response. That doesn't mean you're weak. It just means that you will choose how to respond against any injustice, unfairness, or provocation. True strength is deciding what you will do and how and when you will do it. But also knowing that sometimes the best way to respond is to wait, reflect, look at things from a different perspective, and then choose if, when, and how you will respond. Sometimes the best form of revenge is to allow that individual that has caused an issue to simply not know that you are eternally grateful for your life and will not allow them to impact your emotional state. They will still carry the baggage of their fear, their insecurities, their weakness. But you will feel like you're 10 foot tall and bulletproof. You will feel extremely strong. And as the saying goes, lions do not lose sleep over the opinions or actions of sheep, but also feel how good it feels to be full of gratitude, so grateful for even the smallest of things in your life. Memories, opportunities, relationships, dreams. I want you to walk out of that mirror into the room, but keeping all of those qualities within you. From this point onwards, you will see yourself in any reflection with these qualities. Whether you catch yourself in the reflection of a shop window, look at yourself in a mirror when trying on new clothes, or even when you see yourself in a bathroom mirror washing your hands, you will see yourself with these qualities, big-hearted, full of inner strength, and full of a deep appreciation and gratitude. If your unconscious mind accepts that from this point onwards this is simply true, let me know with an unconscious movement. That's right. And there's one final thing that you're going to see as you are standing there in that room. I want you to imagine that there are now 2 other people in that room. There is the 10-year-old version of you also in that room as you stand there, full of gratitude and appreciation, full of inner strength, full of compassion, kindness, and this big-hearted feeling. You can see that there is a 10-year-old boy that was you. And you can also see a very old gentleman at the end of his life, still alive and happy, but old nonetheless. And I want you to shift your perspective so you can now see yourself through the eyes of that 10-year-old version of you. Back then, there was turmoil, stress, uncertainty, anxiety perhaps. But as you look at you and the very best version of you, filled with those qualities, I want you to get a sense of just how impressed and proud you are. Proud of the person that you've become from the perspective of the 10-year-old version of you. You seem strong, successful, kind, and grateful. And get an overall sense that what you've accomplished and the person that you've become were just dreams for this 10-year-old version of you. And it fills you with a sense of pride. Now shift perspective so you can see yourself from the perspective of the future you, the old you, the person that's coming to the end of your life. Through those years of wisdom, you know what's really important. You know that body shape, how much money you have in the bank aren't the important things. From this age, you know that the important things are the relationships, the experiences, the values, and the qualities. And because you're seeing yourself with those qualities again, you get an overall sense of pride. That the younger version of you and the older version of you is completely and totally proud of the person that you are. because they're proud, they evaluate you as being the very best version of themselves, which is exactly what self-esteem is. When you perceive the ideal version of yourself to be the same as your current self, self-esteem is infinite. And now step back into that infinitely self-esteem version of yourself, feeling how good it feels to like who you are, to be proud of who you are, and to be excited to evolve to be even better versions of yourself. It's now time to leave. And I want you, before you leave, to hug both the old version of you and the 10-year-old version of you. Hear them tell you that they are proud of you. Take that energy of pride from both the old and the young version of you. And as you leave that room, you feel different. You feel like you're vibrating at a different energy. You feel that your self-esteem has never been higher, because it hasn't. And you're now back out on that beach in Rio. And there's two final things that we need to do. We need to integrate with other parts of your deep subconscious mind. And as you walk down the beach, I want you to see that there is a version of you that is still there, counting clouds in the sky. That logical, analytical, critical part, all this time has been distracted, just as we wanted. But now we need to integrate with that part. And I want you to climb inside that part now, perhaps even seeing what the number of cloud is right there in the sky. And I want you to vibrate and feel that both parts are now one. That the part with all of those qualities of gratitude, strength, and kindness and big-heartedness are all integrated with the logical, analytical part. And now, those parts as one, I want you to walk towards that version of you that is still asleep, that conscious mind that is asleep on the beach. We also need to integrate with. Because consciously as well as unconsciously, you will be able to perceive yourself in a way that makes you realize that to the 10-year-old version of you and to the old version of you, you are already a 10 out of 10. Climb inside that version of you that is lying on the beach, soaking up the sun's rays, feeling so relaxed. And allow all parts to integrate. All parts of your unconscious mind will now work together to perceive yourself, to be someone that you are proud of, grateful for, but also eager to evolve, grow, and become even better. You get up off that beach, walk to where the sea meets the sand, and have an overall sense that the future is bright, positive, and exciting, that you have unlocked parts of your deep subconscious that will enable you to be the very best version of yourself. In a few moments' time, I will count from 1 to 10, and you will awaken full of clarity, with a change of perspective, able to see yourself as a 10-year-old boy would see you, able to appreciate just how big-hearted you are, how you are able to respond to different situations, and infinitely grateful of who you are, what you have, and what you can become. You will awaken full of energy, optimism, with a feeling of freshness and a feeling that you are excited about the future. You will awaken in this room at this time, fully integrated, fully alert, with all normal sensations returning to your arms and legs, starting to count to wake you up. 1, 2, 3, waking up. 4, 5, 6, more alert. 7, 8, open your eyes, open your eyes. 9, 10, wide awake, wide awake, wide awake.
Thank you for listening to The Hypnotist with Adam Cox, the show that gives you inside access to cutting-edge hypnosis with real clients facing genuine issues. To automatically receive the latest episodes, please subscribe. If you'd like to support the show, please share this episode with just one friend you think it could help. And if this episode helped you, please leave us a 5-star review.